Yo.
Jeremy!
Yo.
What's up, dude?
Hey, how's it going?
Pretty good. How we feeling right now?
Well, fantastic, man. Putting in that work.
You know who I saw yesterday, and I told him that you're coming on the show today? Eric Uresk.
Yeah. Yep. Eric.
He just flew to San Diego today.
He did.
Yep.
Nice. I'm actually up in Costa Mesa right now. I've been putting in some work with Ferguson. He
dope.
invited me up to his gym, so I've been up here working like a fucking madman. But I'll be back, I think, probably Thursday. So hopefully he's still there.
Thursday, you're going back to Alliance.
Yeah, I'll probably be back maybe Wednesday night, Thursday for sure.
Yeah. So Eric is like,
He's an OG.
he's definitely an OG. I wouldn't say he's spiritual though, right?
Spiritual and violence.
Yes, but like he put up a post today on Facebook like, so I've been living in Phuket for 5 years around amazing friends and amazing fighters, and I decided to return back to, but I felt like I was getting too comfortable, so I flew back to the United States, and been home for 5 weeks, and I'm going to go back to my favorite city of San Diego. I have no place to stay, no job, but that's what gets me going is like fear, so and not being comfortable. So I'm gonna use my skill.
Sorry to interrupt, but just someone put out there that have him hit me up. I have an extra bedroom at my house.
Okay.
He's one of my favorite training partners, man. His wrestling, and he was so small and able to get underneath and like hold me down, man. I enjoy training with Eric.
Yeah.
Uresk. So he's somebody reach out to him, tell him just to hit me up. He's got a place.
Okay.
Warm plate of food at Mikasa, so
Okay.
we're all good there.
So,
Beautiful.
so that's one thing me and him were talking about yesterday. I was like, because you, Jeremy, are you're a competitor. Would you say you're more of a gamer than a gym hero?
Yeah, I would say at first, at soul pure heart, I'm a fighter who's learned martial arts, the discipline, and became athletic and really taught myself a lot of mental toughness and just life experience. So at the source, I would say fighter.
Yeah, because Eric has come into my gym, and I'm pretty sure the same thing that happened to me has happened to you. Is like, who's this little jack motherfucker that's about my weight? That like, and you see him going with other people, kind of fucking him up. I'm like, yo, not here. And then you grab a hold of him, and the next thing you know, you go for a ride, and you're like, what? No, dude. Like, yeah. Fuck you. I'm going to fuck you up. And then you get to meet him, and you're like, this dude's dope.
Those are the exact words that I said. Like, who the fuck's this guy?
Right.
Like, who's this little monster? But, man, he had a name for that. He goes, man, let's get some sky miles today. He's always talking about sky miles, air miles,
Yeah.
And man, he was just his Greco to really wrestling, grappling was it's amazing, and his spirit in the gym. It's no bullshit. Come here, work hard, work smart,
no ego,
and yeah, no ego. Just fucking let's get to work. He's the type of guy to be like, oh, why are we talking? Why are we talking right now?
Yeah.
And it just no bullshit. And man, I enjoy training with him, man. I'm actually glad he's back in San Diego. That's good news.
He said you're actually one of his favorite people to work with.
Man, I'd say the same thing about him, man. He's a great training partner. I put in years with him. It was kind of sad to see him go, but I know everybody has their own journey, and I always knew that he'd be back, someday, or at least still be around. And I imagine, I've heard some guys come over from Alliance from that Phuket top team where he's training at, and he's always recommended that gym, and he brings in some good guys over here, and they always say the same thing. You're a good person when people are talking good about you.
Yeah, for sure. So let's go back to Jeremy Stevens. Jeremy, where were you born and raised?
I was born in Des Moines, Iowa.
That's right.
It's you throw a dart in the middle of the United States of America, it'll land on the bullseye. That's the heart, the quarter zone. That's my state. That's my city.
That's a big wrestling state. Did you wrestle growing up?
Yeah, I wrestled as a kid growing up, and then, as my family split apart, I tended more to baseball and other athletics, and then I got back in wrestling in high school to like my junior year, and I had stopped after that and was pretty committed to baseball.
Oh, so you were gonna go pro baseball, huh? Was that the goal?
Yeah, I was looking to go to college. I had really good, I had really good skills.
What position?
Bills, I guess you would say. By my senior year, I was playing catcher. I played second. I played outfield, and then one day I come running in, and my coach was like, "Hey, you ever caught before?" I was like, "Yeah, like in Pee Wee." He's like, "Gear up." And then I started playing catcher, and I was actually really good. I enjoyed it, and I ended up kind of owning that position and beating the next guy out, and that was my spot. And actually, I enjoyed it.
Jeremy, ready for this? When I was in third grade, guess what position I was?
What's that?
Center field and catcher.
Nice, dude.
Yeah.
That's dope, man. I love baseball. I actually watching my girls play softball now. It's amazing. I've been trying to tell them my little plays and be aware, and they're just kind of looking at me like, "Yeah, all right, Dad."
Jeremy, do you want to know why I quit playing baseball?
You became a fighter?
No. I was out in center field. You can't call timeout in baseball.
Yeah.
I pissed myself in center field.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. It was all like, that sucks.
Yeah, you should have just whipped. Why didn't you just whip it out, bro?
I don't know. I'm in third. Like, it's not big. It's still not big, but like, it wasn't really big. Like.
You should have bent down to tie your shoe and did one of those.
Well, we had black pants, so you couldn't really tell. But in the dugout, you probably smelt me.
Oh,
I didn't tell anybody. I finished out the season. I was like, I'm not gonna play next year.
That's classic shit right there, dude.
He was the smelly kid on the baseball team. He smelled like piss.
Fuck you.
They're like, what is that?
Hang on, because every time I got up to hit, I was like, this is going yard. I'm going for a home run. And guess what?
You hit no home runs.
I struck out a
You
lot. No, I had a couple.
So did Babe Ruth.
Yeah. How was
trying to hit the ball?
How was your batting average?
He's not. I don't know. I was pretty consistent. I was a good hitter. I was the type of guy that, there'd be fast pitchers, and I was pretty consistent at, always pulling the ball to like right center to get extra bases and get my my guys around that are on second. So I mean, I could hit anybody, and I just I was just one of those kids that was like, man, hit, like, especially if I played outfield, wherever it was, hit the ball to me. Like, I want to make this play, especially if it was like a ground ball to outfield and the guy's on second, he's trying to score and go home. I was always like wanting to just fucking gun it all the way down from outfield and just make that throw and get them guys out.
So
that was just me.
Yeah. So I caught two things there. One, maybe like the fact that you can hit balls and your eye-hand coordination is so good is why you've been knocking motherfuckers out. That's one thing. And then two, maybe why you like fighting so much is because you want to be the guy out there in the baseball field making that big play and be the hero. But when fighting, like, you're the fucking hero.
Yeah, of course. I would agree. Ever since I was 16 years old and I actually put somebody out, and the feeling that I felt there and all the love I was getting, that feeling, you're just like, fuck, I want more of that. And it's like, and it's a good accomplishment too, just for yourself personally, because not really anybody knows what truly, how much work that I actually put in. At night when I'm running, when everybody's sleeping, and I've already trained enough throughout the day. So it's like that. It's for yourself, and it's also for the love that you get and you receive. And probably with the hand-eye coordination for sure, man. You always got to watch the bat crack the ball, and keeping your eye on things. Awareness. It's always good to have.
Yeah, when I swung, I looked like where I wanted the ball to go, and it didn't go there. It went in the catcher's mitt. That sucked. And then I would go back to the dugout and like I'd be like fucking like crying like in like but like so no one could see it like fucking just trying to hold it in just in my chest. I'm trying to hold tears in my chest. I'm like, don't look at me, Jeremy. Like,
no, dude. I bet you when you got a hold of it though, you blasted it.
Yeah, I had a couple.
Big tree trunks of legs there.
Hey, I had 2 in the park home runs. That's my claim to fame in baseball.
Okay.
And pissing myself in center field.
Did you eat sunflower seeds?
Back then?
Yeah. Did you like just?
No.
Man, no.
I chew tobacco now.
I still eat sunflower seeds. I still eat sunflower seeds. I love sunflower seeds.
Oh man, I get them all over, bro.
Well, Jeremy, Stan the man here. Usually we introduce ourselves a little bit, but you obviously know Menace. Yeah, you guys have gone to war before, but Stan the man here. So one question I have for you. You started at Miletich's originally, right? I would think, being in Iowa?
Yeah, Miletich was a school that I went to. I actually started off at DMMA. It was Des Moines Mixed Martial Arts. That's where Josh Neer was. Josh Neer then went up to Miletich to get better training, and then I followed him up there once I was able to kind of get some wheels. I ended up going up there and training the last like 2 better years up there, and then eventually that shut down and he brought me out to here.
Oh, so you went out to California with Josh Neer?
No, Josh Neer stayed back, and I was on the rise of searching for better training. He had his daughter and stuff going on for him there, and eventually I just realized I was like, you know what, I'm actually getting better, and I'm going to one gym for Muay Thai. I'm going to one gym for Jiu-Jitsu, the best school, and then I'm going for my martial arts training. And I was like, man, you know what? There's more options out there. There's some higher training. Miletich is gone, so I decided to go try out a few things and just go travel and see what the best fit was for me. And at the time, I was managed by the same guy as Hermes Franca. And I remember watching Hermes, big overhand, putting knees to face. And I was like, man, this would be a great guy to train with. He's like, hey, I'm heading out to San Diego. And one of our stops was at Victory MMA and Alliance MMA. Victory had Dean Lister and a bunch of good grapplers and fighters. And then, Alliance was just Dominick Cruz and just those killers over there. So, once I landed out into Alliance, I pretty much knew I had found my home.
Dominick Cruz is one of my favorite dudes. Cause I would go in like fight week, right? And I would, how he likes to do his little interviews with the fighters he's commentating on, and he'd be like, you're fighting another like alpha, like he like calls it straight. There's no he doesn't give a fuck. You know what I mean? He calls it how he sees it. And I love that in a human being. Because, I'm sure you get it. I've gotten it where, like, oh, you're a fighter. Let me fucking fluff you up and fucking blow you. It's like, dude, like, no. We can never be real friends because you're, like, you put me on this pedestal. I need dudes around me that are real motherfuckers that tell me I'm dressed like an idiot or I fucking smell like shit. Like, not dudes that are like, oh, you're fucking awesome. So, and I got that at Dominick. A few times I talked to him, I'm like, yo. Like, he was, like, making fun of me kind of, and I'm like, I guess we're friends because I only like you're not hurting my feelings, but I can tell you're trying to take a stab at you're not even trying to take a stab at me. I can tell you're being very real, and I was like, and I fucks with that in you, and like we should hang out. And he was like, I
don't want to hang out with you.
Yeah, that's kind of what he said. And I was like, fuck you, Dominick. I'm cool. Okay? So.
Well, he's a home.
I'll grab your little ass and we're hanging out. All right?
He's a real home team type of guy. So I'm sure him and Jeremy are close. So you're probably a bit of the enemy in his eyes.
Well, no. I disagree because 3 alpha male guys beat me. He's got a big thing against alpha male. Like, if anything, he would be rooting for me, no? Jeremy? What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I love Dom, dude. That's my guy. He's always gonna keep it real and how he sees it. I didn't really catch what you were saying about the alpha male team. Is that when you were over there? Is what I'm getting, and we had the thing with the alpha males. Is that what you're saying?
No,
I cut out a little bit.
No, I went to alpha male like way before I was like in the UFC. I went there just for like 1 week. No, but I had fought 3 alpha male guys in a row, and that's why I went on that little fucking losing streak.
Oh.
And I would go in and talk to Dom, and I'd be going against the next guy. He'd be like, "Hey, so Dennis, what did you switch up going to this camp?" I'm like, "Nothing. I'm gonna fucking keep doing what I'm doing." He's like, "Well, you think it's a good idea? Like, you're going against alpha male guys, like they studied you and they know what beat you." Like, I'm like, "Nah, fuck that. The last loss was bullshit." He's like, "Well, you still lost." I'm like, "No, I did." He's like, "Well, the record says you did." I'm like, "Fuck you, Dom."
Yeah, I get that. You know what? Me and him both talked. We always thought that you should have came down to Alliance before then. We're like, dude, you belong over here, not over there getting fluffed and feathered.
Yeah.
But honestly, man, I honestly thought that you. I know for a fact that you did beat Feely. The judges didn't see it that way. He was just pointing, going for some takedowns. But I thought you won that fight. And there's another couple ones that I thought you got robbed, bro. Even me and my wife, we watched. We're like, fuck, bro.
Yeah.
I remember like maybe two back to back, even or something crazy. It was like, fuck, you're getting robbed.
So I think you should know this, and I think the public should know this. So I've been TKO'd a few times, right? You are actually the only person that actually put my lights out. And the reason why I know this is because, like, I lost whatever. I was upset, and I was like, nah, they shouldn't have stopped the fight. And then I went to, like, the hospital and stuff like that. And I'm sitting there talking to my jiu-jitsu coach, and I was like, man, I can't believe they didn't drug test me. And he's like, bro, they took blood. I was like, oh. Damn. All right. Fine. Very well.
Yeah. Hey,
good call.
I've been there too, man.
I
thought, I got knocked out by Ease Edwards, dude, and I didn't come back till like way later. And then I was sitting there talking. I kept realizing I was asking the same questions, and the guy's like, "Who's president?" And is Barack Obama? And I was like George Bush, bro. I'm like, and then they're like, bro, they're like, you gotta go to the hospital, man. I was like, all right.
So I had trained with Yves prior to him fighting you, and like we went for and if you listen to my podcast with Yves, I talked about this, how like I went. It was me, my buddy Dan Valmont, who was the assistant coach at Hofstra University, and my older brother. We all went out drinking on like a Friday. Yves doesn't drink, right? So and Yves would stay with me and my roommate, and the next day, hey, Yves, like, you got a fight, come up, let's go for a run. So we ran the boardwalk, which is 4 miles. Like, it's like 2 miles down, 2 miles back. Me, my older brother, who doesn't train at all, and Dan Valmont smoked Yves. I dropped back a few times, like, Yves, listen, man, you got a fight come up. Like, pick it up. He's like, fuck you, Bermudez. I'm like, all right, whatever. Like, and we were having a conversation while we were jogging. We got back. I showered. Came out, and he was just coming. I was like, Yves, you got to be kidding me. So when I found out I was fighting you, I'm like, dude, if Yves beat him, like, I should crush you. And then it didn't go that way. But hang on. But during that fight weekend, things are intense and stuff like that. And I remember being like, dude, fuck Jeremy Stephens. Because he came up to me after, like, I accepted the fight, and you were like, Dex taking the fight. And I was like, yeah, like, whatever, And then I lost and whatever. And, my tensions were high. And then I saw you at a fight, and I met your wife, who's a fucking absolute saint. And you had just got engaged to her, I believe, right?
Yeah, that night.
Yeah. That night? No.
Yeah, that day.
Damn. And so you guys were all high and mighty. I had a fight coming up, and, like, you were like, hey, Bermudez, I'm getting a beer. You want them? I got a fight coming up. You're like, fuck you. I'm getting you a beer. I'm like, yo, man, I got a fight coming up. I'm not going to drink it. You're going to waste your money. And you're like, I'm getting you something. And he came back with a water. I'm like, I actually really like this guy a lot. He's actually... Because a lot of people, like, when you do your social media and stuff like that, not your social media, but, like, your interviews and stuff like that, like, you're in it. Like, you're game face, fight ready. Where I could see where people are like, this guy is a mean person, when you're really not. Yeah,
I get that a lot. I'm a very serious dude. This is, people don't realize, I've my whole life I was like always like scared, and the way that I grew up, hiding behind behind shit, you know. So just, you know, this is how I protect my family. This is how, you know, some these guys, you know, there's really no friends in this business. You know, yeah, we can have a photo, we can do this, but at the end of the day, bro, I'm here to beat your ass in this business.
Yeah.
And that's really what it is. I'm not trying to make friends, and this is how I support my family.
Yeah.
You know, at the end of the day, bro, we put it on the line in one of the greatest fucking crowds and one of the best fight cards ever in history, and put on a war. So after that, I was like, this guy isn't a friend. He's become like family now, bro. Anything you ever needed, I always said, you know, San Diego.
That's right.
Always welcome. And that's the side that, you know, a lot of people don't really get to see. And, you know, it's hard to kind of show it when people just ask you about fights. But when real fucking good, smart people, they actually get in there, they get a different side, they get a different feel. It's a good way to connect with people because we're all human beings, bro. I believe in one race, the human race. And the more that you can kind of let people just, hey, man, like I was insecure, or hey, man, sorry about this, and you keep it real, the more way we can connect with people. And I think that's a good thing. And I've been trying to tap into that more lately, but you know, when business is business, I guess.
Right, yeah, for sure. And Stan, like, Jeremy's offered me a bedroom in his house, not like multiple times.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I guess, you know, now I'm retired, like, I guess I could kick myself in the ass for that, because I mean, you guys have some great training over there at Alliance. Like, you guys are doing some fucking fantastic things over there, man.
Yeah, it's the San Diego coast, bro. This is where mixed martial arts begun, was in San Diego. You know, back with Dean Lister, Ken Shamrock, all them guys. Those are like the OG legends. It's spread across here, but you know, Southern San Diego's kept a really good feel. You know, I train at Atos Jiu-Jitsu Academy. Those guys are in ADC World right now. We're doing 2.5 hour grind fucking practices, bro. We're little men and people that would never train wouldn't even know what to do. You know, it's real grimy. Then I come up here and you know, I train with Tony Ferguson and just grinding, bro. Hours and hours nonstop. You know, this is all over the Pacific Coast, bro. And it's amazing to have these gifts right here available to you. All you gotta do is just go try it out, man. It's a blessing.
For sure. Now, like, you have a couple kids. I have kids. That's why it can be conflicting. Kind of, you know, missing your kids for 2 weeks or a month, going away to train, you know. So sometimes, like, it's, I guess, you know, it was just easier to stay here, really, you know, and you didn't feel as guilty leaving, you know, which is, you know, it's tough. I mean, I'm sure you understand, you know.
Yeah, you know, it's all about time management. You know, working your time, figuring it out. Like you said, man, I have a saint of a wife, dude, who just put her dreams aside and really let me kind of do my thing, and I make sure that I take care of things on the back end, and I wouldn't be able to do it without her. Yeah. And as far as like my kids stuff, bro, I just let them know the truth. You know, I'm like, hey, Dad's got to go bust ahead. This is how we live. And you know, they're going back home. They're in school year all around, so they're actually going back home to Iowa to visit some family. So I left them pretty set up tight, and they know that, hey, this is just a small sacrifice for the bigger picture.
Right. How old you have two girls, right?
Yeah, 2 daughters.
How old are your girls?
10 and about to be 8, so I'm actually missing a birthday.
Oh man, I'm sorry to hear that, but I mean, I'm sure you'll make up for it later.
She's good. She's got a taquero and piñatas all over the place, bro. She's in good hands.
That's right.
And she's got the pool going, so she's good.
Hang on.
Well, that's something funny too. That you two fought. He's Mexican. You're Puerto Rican.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
His lady's Mexican.
No, aren't you Mexican as well, Jeremy?
I'm a quarter Mexican. Si, senor.
Yeah, he's Mexican.
But your lady taught you all your Spanish, no?
Yeah, pretty much,
right. Yeah, he knows.
I have a lot of my tradition.
Okay, you're Puerto Rican and don't speak any Spanish. I'm just
Fuck
saying.
You, Stan. Everybody knows that.
When you two fought, it actually tapped into the Mexico-Puerto Rican rivalry. That's big in fighting. It's big in boxing.
Well, I mean, how many people know that Jeremy Stephens is a quarter Mexican?
I think nobody, unless you follow him.
So how does that tap into the Mexican-Puerto Rican rivalry?
Because he's Mexican.
But nobody knows he's Mexican, you idiot.
Fans might know.
I think if you watch me fight, I think they know that, man, this guy must be Mexican.
Yeah. Yes, I can see that. And yo, you are actually one of the most inspirational guys to watch, because you could be down the cards, and I'm like, nah, this dude gives 0 fucks.
Sends it.
He's gonna send it.
Yeah.
So you have you're actually fighting a fucking Mexican come up here soon, no?
Yeah. Fighting a guy in his country.
Dude, are you gonna rep like are you gonna like pump that you're a Mexican the whole time, or like fuck it?
Yeah, you know what? Actually, my first UFC fight, man, came out with a Mexican bandana, and it really just had nothing to do with like I'm not the most Spanish speaking person, but I come from the South Side Bottoms of Des Moines, where we were staying at my abuela's house. You know, when my dad was living with his brothers. There's everybody in there. There's a South Side Mexican Italian neighborhood. I grew up with all Mexicans. You know, in my family, that's all we ate was Mexican food. So I grew up around the culture, but meeting my wife, I really tapped into it more. I actually went and visited her mom and dad's family at their ranch in Nayarit, in Chilapa and Los Pilas, and those were humble territories, man. So I really just embraced the culture, their humbleness. They're willing to work hard and just good people all over the world, man. And that's what I represent.
How Mexican is your lady?
She's 100%.
Okay, so
Mexicana.
So the thing is, like, I think I know Jeremy Stevens, right? He needs a little bit, like, he needs to be afraid of his lady slightly. And those Latinas could be pretty spicy, and that's probably why you're married to her, is like, she keeps you in motherfucking check. Am I wrong?
What's that? You just cut out a little bit.
I said, I feel like I know Jeremy Stevens, right? And those Latinas are a little crazy, and like Jeremy Stevens needs to be a little bit afraid of his lady for it to work out, and she probably strikes a little fear in you, no?
Oh yeah, dude. My wife, she's definitely raised the bar for me. You know, a lot higher than my original standards, dude. I was a fucking animal back in the day, dude. What do you expect?
Yeah.
I had no direction. I was just fucking anything that moved. Just a terrorizer, you know. And then I met her, bro, and it just really changed my life for the better. And she's the realest fucking person I know, and she's just brutally honest with me, and for sure. Yeah. Have I ever came home late, and tried sneaking in the door and then got punched right in the chest? For sure. So yeah, there's a little fear there, bro.
No, I mean, I met her that one night. I forget where were we at, Barclays or I forget what fight, and I was like, nah, she's dope. Like, she's a real one. You know?
Yeah.
And I forget.
100%.
Maybe a fan did something and you almost beat him up, and he was like, no, fucking sit down. And you're like, yeah, you're lucky. You're lucky my lady's here. And I was like, damn, okay. It's amazing.
Hey, and I do remember getting you, I got you a Red Bull.
You got me a water. Didn't you?
Oh, was it water? I thought I got you a Red Bull too.
I mean, there's a solid chance where I was like, this guy is trying to party. Give me a fucking energy drink. I'm fucking ready to go, dude. What's your favorite energy drink?
Favorite energy drink? Probably a Blue Rockstar.
A Blue Rockstar. Have you ever tried G Fuel?
Nah.
Well, we're gonna send you out some.
Nice. Send me some cases, my man.
You got it. We'll get right on that.
We're gonna send you some G Fuel and a Menace in the Man shirt you can wear when you train.
Woo.
Nice, man. I love free stuff.
And
anybody else out there listen, you guys got any free things? Send them my way.
I love free things. Is that the Spanish in us?
Free.
Yep.
Libertad.
Free food. I don't know what you said, but
free in Spanish, I think.
I would imagine, right?
Libertad. Freedom.
So you're going out to Mexico on this coming Sunday?
Yeah, I'll be in Mexico this weekend
to get acclimated to the elevation.
Yeah, we'll see what it does, man. I've been running mountains. I've been busting hours, man. The other day I ran 2 hours 15 minutes. Trained for about 4 hours with Tony Ferguson on some killer intense shit, but all good work, bro. So my legs, my body, it's ready for the heat. We just got to go get out there and get those lungs adjusted. And I think it's a quick, easy fix. There's some things in my diet that I can really tap into, and other than that, man, it's just enjoy the journey, have fun, be loose, and Grey Goose at the end of the fight.
For sure.
Good night.
Is Tony going to the fight?
What's that?
Is Ferguson going to the fight?
I don't know. Just see if the schedule can come down. I'm hoping to get him down there a little bit for a few weekends. You know, he's trained in the mountains in Big Bear and the altitude, and he trains like a madman, dude. I literally thought that, you know, because I do some crazy gnarly training where I'll look over and no one else is around.
Yeah.
But I brought a friend up here the other day, and me and Ferguson we put in 5.5 hours literally in the gym of just training, grinding, just doing nonstop shit, Mayweather shit.
Yeah.
And my buddy, he's like, dude, I think you met your brother, bro. He's like, I didn't know there was another person like you. You know, and me and Ferguson just rocked out, bro. And it was cool that he came here. He welcomed me with open arms. Right as I got in, motherfucker taped my hands up. Dude, we just started just getting after it, doing all types of shit at a real high level, real smart, methodical thinking. And it just made it real fun. And we just got after it all day like two kids in a fucking jungle gym. It was gnarly.
I like it.
Yeah, I've heard stories of how Ferguson trains, like listening to Eddie Bravo and stuff, and he's 8 hours, 6 hours. Like he trains like a 9 to 5. Like he'll train a whole day pretty much. Yeah. And it's like, dude, why don't you stop? Just keeps going.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't, man. We literally, when we stopped, we were just kind of chilling, watching a little bit of film and going over some shit. And we got after it, dude. We were up running until about like 1 in the morning last night, while everybody's sleeping. I ran 75 minutes in the morning. And then at night, I busted out another hour and 5. So, we just fucking got in. We got after it all damn day. So I enjoy this type of training.
He's super intense as well. Super intense. Like I met him one time, and like the intensity, it didn't waver at all. He was like ready to fight me because I made a bad joke.
Yeah, I feel like he's kind of misunderstood like me a little bit. He's intense. He's just passionate. He's telling he means what he says, and he loves what he does, and he just kind of comes off unorthodox, but he's a real passionate dude. I mean, the guy we just kind of I met him before, we sparred before back in the day, and we've exchanged some word over Twitter, but we've hashed a lot of the stuff out. And this guy came in, he's wrapping my hands, he was stretching me out, bro. He's taking care of me like a lifelong teammate. It was really cool to see, and I was like, damn, this is like what we were just talking about earlier. Like, man, this is the side that you don't see of a real genuine dude who cares. He's putting in his time with me, and he doesn't owe me a goddamn thing.
Right.
He's just doing that out of the kindness of the heart, man. That's what fighters are about, bro. That's that real shit, the raw shit.
So after this fight, after you win this fight, the next camp you'll have, he'll definitely be a part of it, no? Hello?
What's that?
I said after you win this fight, the next camp you have, he'll definitely be a part of it, no?
Yeah, I actually plan on extending the friendship and the training. Not a lot of people get invited up here to Tony Ferguson's gym. And, he's giving me good compliments. He's like, fuck, dude. He's like, you're in shape, bro. He's like, I don't really give that compliment out a lot. He's like, you're killing it. And I was like, yeah, bro, I do this. I live this life. This is how I train all the time, stay ready. And, training with somebody like him, bro, somebody can actually keep up and do things like this. I plan on, keeping that friendship and that training partnership going. I could see us, doing big things.
For sure. So last question, right?
Yeah. Well, we can go all night with him. I got many things I could say to Jeremy Stephens.
Last question is, you started at the big leagues at such a young age. Where do you see the ceiling of your career? Or you're just gonna keep riding it until fucking the wheels fall off? Or do you have a backup plan? What's the plan for Jeremy Stephens? Obviously become world champion. What's the plan?
Yeah, the plan is kind of doing what I'm doing. I've been tapping into like motivational speaking.
Okay.
I've been talking to my boy Miles, and tapping into real estate, taking my money and investing into real estate. Other than that, there's a few other things on the line, but right now, man, I'm just getting my money and enjoying life. Every day is a new day. I could check out tonight, tomorrow. Who knows what the fuck's going to happen? I'm going to enjoy the day. I'm going to get after it. I'm going to have a good time. I'm going to tell the ones that I love them the most. and just keep rocking, bro. Keep setting out the good vibes, being a good person, and make money, and put my money into real estate, and just watch it sit back, collect, and go enjoy my life and raise my kids. That's the happy end game for me. You know, I'm financially free, have things set up for myself, let my hard work just kind of take care of itself in the end, so I can retire and retire happy and enjoy life.
Cause what age were you when you were in the big leagues? When you were with Zuffa?
21.
I was 18. I just
that's what I thought. 18.
Fought pro, and my 21st birthday was my first fight in UFC.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Dude, that's a long time.
And he never left. You know, sometimes guys wind up having a little downside, and then they leave for a fight or two, and then they come back. Jeremy Stephens been with the UFC 12 years, 13 years.
How old are you now, bro?
33.
Damn.
Yeah, he's an OG at a young age.
Yeah. Because I remember
I'm not fucking leaving.
Because I remember when I first started fighting, I was like, you know what? Maybe at 35, I'll retire if I'm not ready. And it just so happened. I mean, that losing streak really just put a bad taste in my mouth. I was like, fuck this, man. I'm not doing this shit. You know, I'm cool. You know.
I think you got more. I think you got one more in you, Dennis. I think you should come back and do a camp at Alliance.
Hang on. I know I can win fights in the UFC, but I'm not. I wasn't fighting in the UFC just to get money and to get wins. I was fighting the UFC to become a world champion. And with those losses, it just put me so far down the list that I knew it was going to take me a minimum of 3 years to get a title shot. And I'm like, and at that point, like waking up in the morning, like my body was hurting and I wasn't recovering the same. I was like, I just lost the drive. And I thought about relocating and going to another gym and just, you know, a refresh start. But loyalty is almost one of my downfalls to an extent, you know, where I'm like, no, you're my guy. Like, I'll do anything. I'm with you to, you know, ride or die forever, you know, and it was the very first gym I was at. I was there longer than I wanted to stay. And, I left, you know, for a girl, which is, you know
the wrong reason usually.
No, I mean, but but it got me into a better gym, you know. But I just, you know, you know when Thursday it's pro class, you know exactly what positions you're gonna be doing, exactly who's gonna be there, exactly how hard it's gonna be. It's like after years of that, you're like, fuck, man, like, you know, where you go to a new gym, I'm sure going to Ferguson, you're like, what's up? What are we doing? And you have all these question marks. You're not sure, and you're like on edge, and you're ready to go because you don't know what the fuck you're getting into, and it ends up being a good workout.
Yeah.
So training with Ferguson, does he still have Muay Thai Anthony out there with him?
What's that?
You say Muay Thai weird, Stan.
Muay Thai, I do.
Muay.
I remember when I met Ferguson in California, he was training with this guy. They called him Muay Thai Anthony. Is he still with him?
Anthony, yeah, I know who he is. Yep. I don't know. I know who Anthony is. I've actually hit pads with him before. He kind of has like a little different style, you know, real groovy, slick stuff. But I know they're boys and shit.
Yeah. One time he set up some training when we were in California, and I met Ferguson. I grew up in the sport, but then I went up to Tony, and I'm like, you want to do some rounds with the bootleg Michael Chiesa? And he kind of like, Anthony told me he was joking around, but to me, he took that the wrong way. He basically went out of his gym bag, walked up to me, got like 1 inch away from my nose, and was like, that all depends. Can you take a punch? And I was like, you know, yeah, I'm good to spar, whatever you need. And he was like, all right, be here Monday. And I was like, all right. And then he walked away and like smirked as he walked away. But I was like, I think Tony Ferguson wants to fuck me up right now. Like, I'm sorry I fucking brought up Michael Chiesa.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, very intense, dude.
He's fucking awesome, man. So.
And even it's funny with you. Me and you actually almost have like the Kevin Bacon 6 degrees of separation type of thing. Like Eric Uresk, I trained with him when I was like 14, 15, 16 when I was a little kid. And then Hermes Franco was actually my coach when I lived in Florida.
Nice. That's crazy.
Yeah, and then even way back in the day, I don't know when you were at Miletich, but I had my first jiu-jitsu coach.
Enough about you, Stan. He doesn't give a shit about you.
I'm just telling him that I've been a big fan for a long time, and we're fucking.
Sorry, Stan.
We've walked some similar paths. And you know what else you did? You beat up my co-host one time too.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, you know, I blame that on my buddy Justin, dude, because my buddy Justin goes, dude, you're playing Bermudez, and his name's Justin Lawrence. And I don't know where you guys had met. He had
the karate guy, right?
He fought Max Holloway on the same car as me in Denver.
Yeah, and he goes, fucking Bermudez is a scary dude, bro. He's like, the fucker's cracking pads on him. He's like, he's sharp. And I know Justin, dude. He's an explosive ass white dude, right? And he's been kickboxing like his whole life, and he's fucking gnarly. And for him to say that, I was like. He's like, man, not gonna lie, bro. I was worried about you. I was like, all right, thanks, motherfucker. You know, but he's like, dude, I remember him telling you, like, I remember him saying that, and he was like, hey, Bermudez is good, bro. He's like, I was in the back, and he's fucking cracking pat. And I remember from that moment, I was probably about 7 weeks out, and I was like, all right, dude, I better get serious.
Turn it up.
You know, because he doesn't just say that, you know.
Well, I've told you that before, Menace, as well. There was one fight where I was like, oh, Menace, you're fighting Jeremy Stephens?
Yeah, I can concur with that because Jeremy Stephens is a big name in the MMA community, so it was very easy for me to push myself the extra edge to get ready to fight Jeremy.
Yeah.
But going up through the rankings and stuff like that, like, he was the one guy I wanted to go around. Because you could be kicking Jeremy Stephens' ass for fucking 24 minutes and you're not promised that last minute.
Yeah. And he's
exhausted and he throws his fucking crazy overhand off his hip and then you die.
He's a knockout artist.
Yeah, so.
And he ends them viciously.
And throughout my career, people hit me, people that don't hit as hard as Jeremy Stephens hit me and drop me, so I'm like, if Jeremy Stephens hits me, though, this could be really bad, you know.
Have you ever talked? You guys never really even talked about the fight, right?
No, we at the event we were talking about, and it really was a sincere moment for me, and almost like I can hang my hat on that. Jeremy Stephens says I was the hardest. I mean, he may have had harder fights since, but he told me I was the hardest fight he had ever had, and I was like, that's pretty cool, I guess. But have you had?
Yeah, I told you that. I think I told you that night. You know, I was like, bro, hey, good job, man. Gave you a hug after the fight, dude. Because normally I don't be doing that shit, but I had to give my respect because I was like, dude, you brought it out in me. I remember telling you there at the thing too. I was like, bro, it was good scrap.
Hang on, if you told me that after the fight, I don't remember it. But I remember you told me that at the we were guest fighters at the one fight.
Yeah. Yep. The retreat.
Yeah, and I was like, that's cool. I'll put that on my fucking underneath my fucking Instagram thing.
Bro, that's an accomplishment.
Yeah.
He's a savage, Jeremy Stephens. One of the best to ever do it, especially at featherweight, lightweight in the UFC. He's been there for 13 years. And I'm a big Yair Rodriguez fan, but I hope he gets knocked the fuck out when he fights Jeremy Stephens.
I'm not.
Hey, man, brother. It's going down September 21st. Please tune in. Mexico City. ESPN main event. You're going to have two great fighters going at it, but there's only going to be one standing above, and he's going to be on the canvas.
Oh, yeah. I think that's a vicious one for Jeremy Stephens. Vicious knockout there.
I like it, bro.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
You're the man, Jeremy Stephens. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for the time.
Thank you. No, man, this is a pleasure getting on here with you, man. We'll have to do it. Like I said, doors always open in San Diego, brother. More than welcome.
Yes.
You, Dennis, and Eric Uresh should have a sleepover.
Whoa, here we go.
And even Pat Cummins is from Alliance too, right? He was out there for a minute.
He was, but he's not there now, right?
Yep. You can work on that Puerto Rican tan, bro. I got a pool, so you'd be good.
Go on. I'm listening. All right, man. Have a nice night.
Hey, thanks, guys. You too, man.
Take it easy, Jeremy.
Peace.
You too, brother. Thank you.
Wow.
Jeremy Stephens is a real one.
I was going to say, you knew. I was going to say, wow, I didn't know he was that cool, but you knew he was that cool.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah. But there are things you like. I feel like he. if you're cool with him, he's cool with you.
You know what we didn't do there? We didn't butter him up for the next interview and say we want to talk about street fights. We want to talk about
that's a no-brainer.
Yeah. So after he beats Yair, let's get him back on to talk some street fights.
That's like he said, like me, you've talked about it. Like when you share, a cage, a training room, an octagon with somebody,
weird
ring,
bond builds.
It's like as long as there's respect, there's this bond,